Alright everybody, I hope you're doing well. Today's video is going to be about this rifle that I've set up here. This is my AR carbine in 5.56. It's built off of a Geissele upper and a Colt lower. I'll kind of talk about this build and my experiences with it, but to start off I wanted to do a general purpose sort of gun, so I wanted to be able to run it suppressed with night vision and have a good optic and have it be comfortable and not super heavy. So and I want it to be made out of quality components. So everything on here I want it to be as nice as it could be within certain parameters. So to start off, I chose the Maxim PDW, or the Maxim close quarters combat carbine stock. This is a pretty comfortable stock, especially because I have a lot of beard, and so there's no tight tolerances on here that pull your beard hair out. Nothing gets stuck, and it's super comfy. It's a lot of open, flat space right here. It was a tie between this stock and the Magpul URGI Gen 2, and I went with this one because this weighs a lot less. Both of those don't really tug my beard at all, so it's very similar to these HK style collapsible stocks where it has two guide rails, and it makes it actually fairly compact for storage. So, and at full extension, it's the right length. It's really nice. I did stake it in two spots right off the castle nut thing on this extension, because there's no real mechanical stop for anti-rotation. So what I did, I took a punch, I punched it into the direction of rotation for tightening in these two spots, so it's essentially staked like how a normal castle nut would be. And then of course I used Loctite, so it's very secure. It's a pretty permanent attachment, and I'm very pleased with it. I've got done prone shooting, I've done shooting with night vision, shooting normally from the shoulder, from kneeling. I have no discomfort with this stock, and I like that it's an all metal construction, so it's easy to adjust. I used a Mod Zero BCM grip because I really like these. They're comfy, they're inexpensive, and they really do a good job. They got a storage compartment in the bottom that's easy to access. The lower is a mil spec M4 Colt with a cage code. It's got the little laser engraved QR deal on the bottom, and just a standard Colt forged lower. The only thing I changed on it from the standard controls was I put a Geissele SSA trigger in it, and I really like that trigger. It's a nice, like, inexpensive sort of quality trigger. Feels really good. I'm not really a trigger snob, but it is nice to have a kind of a crisp trigger. Makes doing distance shooting a lot easier from the prone or from standing. I just use these anti-tilt magazines, any of these aluminum deals that I can run with anti-tilt followers. I like them, and you can fit a whole bunch in a magazine pouch. So I use pretty much only aluminum mags. The upper I chose is a Geissele Complete URGI, so it has the Geissele chrome lined hammer forged barrel. It has the Geissele gas block, the enhanced bolt carrier group and all that, the airborne charging handle, the G marked forged upper. It has a forward assist on here, and it has the Mark 16 handguard rail, and also a 14.5 pin and weld with a Surefire 4-prong flash hider. And these flash hiders, I don't know if you can really buy these commercially. I think they just come with the Geissele deals. This upper receiver is the chosen upper for the United States Army's Special Operations Command. And I can tell why they chose it. It's really precise, really nicely machined. Nothing moves, nothing rotates. The handguard's on there very securely. And it runs really well with the suppressor. I'll talk about this in a minute. But going into the precision, I used Midwest Industries simple backup iron sights, and these aren't really the most precise sights, but even at 100 yards with these sights, with this upper, I was able to hit a 3/4 inch group, and I was super impressed with that. That's really great for iron sights, at least for me. So, especially with these ones, and they're nice. They're made out of steel. They're not like plastic or anything. They're nice. They're lightweight. They're pretty much everything you need. I don't know. I think the reason why I like them so much is, in my perception, the peep that's drilled into the back of this rear sight is just the right size to mate with the edges of the ears on the side here, and it just makes it like a really precise and easy to use aiming system. I just put the target on top of the post in the front here, and away I go. So I wanted to mount a light onto here. I was debating whether to put a laser. I decided not to because it saves weight, and I don't really, I mean, even though I shoot with night vision, I don't really use a lot of lasers. I do mostly passive aiming. So I went with a Surefire Scout Micro. This is a particularly nice little light. I don't really need a big light on this gun. I don't need to have a bunch of illumination or whatever. I'll pretty much only ever use this if I'm inside of a building or whatever. So I just wanted to have something small, and this is about the size of a Sharpie marker. It's really, really tiny. It's just in the right spot. So I can touch it, and then, you know, I can have my hand where I normally have it. If I need it, I just reach forward, poke it. So really nice positioning, nicely made. It's a Surefire light, so it'll be, you know, durable. I've had no issues with it. It runs off of AAA, so that's nice. I got rechargeable AAA, so I'll never run out of batteries. I use rail covers for my hand because this upper can get a little warm, not like hot like an AK, but it can get warm. So it's nice to have rail covers. I've been thinking about switching these out though. For what I've been doing, I've found that I keep peeling them off. These BCM ones, I keep like accidentally ripping them off of the gun. So I got slate black industry ones that are coming that are attached with M-lock. So they'll actually be like, you know, screwed on instead of just like clipped in. I do like these BCM ones, but I've just been so rough handling this that I just think that they come off too easy. If you have something like a gun on a bipod or whatever, and you want a place to put them, like a place to put your hand, I think having these clip-on ones is fine because you're not really manipulating the gun too much from that position, and it saves you from burning yourself. But like, you know, for me, I'm holding the gun right there, so it's important for me to have like a permanent place that isn't just this aluminum slick deal. It's nice to have grip there. So I'll get the Slate Black Industries one. They're coming in the mail, and I'll replace that. I am waiting on my sling. It should be here today. It's a Vickers SMG sling, and I went with the SMG model because it has the U loops on both ends instead of quick detach or like an AK loop. It's got the U hooks, which are kind of a soft, like a wire that's rubberized. I'm gonna loop it on with some paracord on the buttstock and then on the handguard closer to the scope here. And that'll be kind of where it is. And it's a Vickers sling, so it's a nice, robust, and easy to use sling. On top, I chose an LPVO with a red dot mounted at the 12 o'clock position. I had been thinking about this. I usually run P2s as a backup, like a night vision device on most of my guns. I have it on ACOG TA02s. I have it like mounted at a 45 offset for my M16, and just really impressed with it. So I wanted to do one that was a with an LPVO, and the British just adopted a KS1 and KS2 rifles for the Royal Marines, and they basically have this identical setup where they have an LPVO with an Acro P2 mounted at the 12 o'clock position. And I think that is a super slick and efficient way to get your, you know, best of both worlds. This is a 1:6 Vortex HD Gen 2 E model, so it's the enhanced model. Super easy to zero. Really can't complain. It's got great illumination with the dot in the middle. It's a very precise scope for being a 1:6. It's second focal plane. I really like this scope. I wasn't too sure about it. My friend kind of, showed me it and talked me into it, and I'm very happy because it's a very nice, robust scope. It's a little chunky, but boy, is it nice to use. It's got great eye relief. I mean, I could put if I have my face here, I could put my whole hand between my face and the scope, and with the length of pull here, it's perfect. Laying prone, it's perfect. From different awkward angles, it's just a great scope to use. I really like it. I originally went with a Geissele, what I thought was a Geissele super precision mount, but it ended up being a Chinese counterfeit. I didn't realize it, and so I had returned it, and they were really nice. They gave me this one. This is an actual Reptilia from Reptilia, and so it's the Reptilia AUS scope mount, which is a super robust, military tested scope mount, 30 millimeter attachment, and then that allows me to use the 30 millimeter 90 degree plate is what they call it for the AUS scope, and this Acro P2. So I have my daytime optic and then my nighttime optic or close quarters optic. So I got a really good, efficient kind of sighting system here. I really love this setup. There's not really anything bad about it, other than it just is a little chunky, but I mean, I got iron sights besides this. I don't really have much else on the gun. So yeah, that's the gun portion. Like I said, it'll be getting a Vickers sling and like permanent attached rail covers here where my hand goes. But other than that, it'll stay in this configuration. I really like this setup a whole lot. It's very comfortable. It's very easy to use. It's very pointable. I couldn't be happier with this, and it's very precise. It's a very accurate gun. My groups, so I zeroed it at 50 yards like it says in the manual, and I took it out to 100 yards, and I did like kind of a confirmation, and I did 4-shot groups, and one of my 4-shot groups with 62 grain 5.56 ammunition, I hit 3 out of the 4 shots were either in the same hole or touching, and I had a 1/4-inch flyer off to the right. I was super impressed with that. This is a very precise, I mean, for being a forged and chrome lined barrel, it's a super precise barrel. I was astonished. When I walked up to check my target, I was like, I kind of had my jaw drop. I went, oh my God. Now, obviously, I wasn't just shooting from bags. I was confirming it with a leveled out lead sled that I had like strapped the gun so it couldn't move. So it was really like about as fixed as you could get it. So it's way more accurate than I could be, but I was testing to see how precise this scope and everything was. And when I mounted this optic, I was very anal about how I did the mounting. I leveled the gun, obviously put in the lead sled. I leveled it for tilt this way. So I used levels. And what's cool about the Geissele the Mark 16 handguard is it's completely level with the receiver. So I tested like how level it was, and the receiver and the rail are perfectly dead nuts level with each other. So it made it easy. All I did was put a little Allen key here. I stuck the magnet on, and the level told me information this way for tilt. And then at 100 yards, I hung a plumb bob on a string, and I matched the reticle with that vertical hang, and it gave me a perfect vertical level with the earth, and then a perfect horizontal level with the earth. And so I did that for mounting the scope, and then for the AUS P2 mount, I leveled that as well with the gun. So both the optic and the P2 are level, and it's given me really good precision with my shots. I recommend if you are going to mount an LPVO, you take the time and be really anal retentive about how you mount with your level into your scope. Take the time and do it right, because you'll be super happy with how your gun shoots. The AUS is also really nice for a scope mount because it gives you all the torque information. So for instance, it's 15 inch-pounds in the cap screws, and then 45 inch-pounds in the actual mount to the body. So it gives you everything you need to know. Even if you have no instructions, it tells you what you need to know, and they're, you know, just Torx bits. So I did Loctite them in. I'm super happy with it. The eye relief on this scope is about like this. So you can see I have quite a bit of eye relief. I mean, I can see out to about here. So it's just perfect for my shooting. I can go prone. I can, you know, do all kinds of stuff. And then for night vision, all I do is go from here, I go up to here, and my night vision device doesn't even touch the front of the scope. There's no risk of bumping it or anything with the P2 mounted up here. I don't even hit this with the eye relief being so generous. I've been running this almost entirely. I zeroed it without suppressor, but then I confirmed with suppressor at 100 yards. I use a RC3 Surefire. This is the new Surefire partial flow through suppressor that they came out with, and I kind of jumped on one when the when I heard that the wait time for suppressors was so small. I did my e-filing on like the 17th of April, and got it on the 19th of April. So I waited a whole day because I filed at like 5 p.m. on the 17th, waited the 18th, and then like at 8 in the morning on the 19th I was approved. So it took a day for me to get this suppressor through the waiting period for Form 4. Couldn't be happier with that. But yeah, it mounts up very nicely. I've had no carbon lock with this so far. I did get carbon lock with my 300 blackout gun with a 30 cal, but it's easy. I shoot a blank and it pops off. But you know, you can shoot a regular bullet and it'll come off. But yeah, it mounts up. With this RC3 suppressor on this particular upper, I felt no discernible change in recoil. It felt the exact same shooting it suppressed and unsuppressed, which was really bizarre and really cool. I was expecting to have a lot more push. Because of the partial flow through technology, it really does, like, you don't feel the suppressor. All you actually perceive is that there's less concussion, because this is a 14.5 AR, so it has a ton of blast coming out the front because that unburnt powder is still kicking out the front. So it reduces a lot of that concussion. It sends it forward. The sound goes forward instead of at you. They're under night vision with the open tine muzzle device. There's no flash under night vision. That's actually better than the RC2 and the SOCOM Mini 2 7.62 that I've used or that I own. It's really good under night vision, and it's really good for like shooting purposes. So I don't have any point of impact shift. I did my zero and then I tested it with this at 100 yards. I had no point of impact shift. Wherever I was aiming, I hit. I was really super impressed because I wasn't sure with the flow through thing how it would affect the bullet flying out the front. It doesn't affect it at all. It's almost unbelievable how precise this is compared to your zero. I couldn't be happier with it. It's a super nice suppressor mounted to a super nice upper. Really reliable. I've had zero malfunctions. I've run this thing in the daytime and the nighttime. Laying on my sides, doing all the weird, goofy stuff from barricades, running and then shooting. I've been very happy with this performance. I've shot it in the rain. It just runs and runs. The one thing I will say is, if you get one of these suppressors and you do a lot of carbine shooting with it, get a sleeve, because under night vision, the middle portion here will start to glow fairly bright. So I'm gonna get a sleeve. But other than that, it's just a great setup. I'm super happy with this. I'm not much of an AR-15 guy. I'm usually more into other types of, small caliber weapons. If I'm going to do something, I'll do like an AUG or whatever, an AK. But this AR has proven itself, and it shows me why people like ARs so much, because I never really was much on the AR hype train. This one, though, I wanted to build out a quality one, and I'm super pleased with it. Couldn't be happier. I'm just waiting on the sling and these and the different rail covers, and it'll be set up how I like it. So yeah, that's this URGI 14.5 build that I put together. Again, super pleased with it. It's very, very ergonomic. I can find my eye relief, no problem. And with the P2 on top, I can, aim for close quarters or for night vision. Does a great job. The night vision performance out of the P2 is phenomenal. It's a 2.5 MOA dot, and it's so clear through the glass. I can see out to 150 yards, no problem. Now, having to aim at 150 yards with a red dot is, you got to know that you're going to be aiming a little higher. But, for what it is, it really does a great job. I see why the British chose the P2 as their 12 o'clock position red dot, because it's so tough and it's so reliable as far as the zero. It's awesome. It has 3 or 4 night vision settings, which is perfect. So if you have a really bright night or a really dim night, you can adjust the red dot for whichever setting you need. It just does everything you need for a little red dot. So I highly recommend the P2 as mounting a backup red dot for your night vision gun. But yeah, that's this 14.5 Geissele URGI. I hope you liked it, and I'll be posting some other footage. I tried to capture some night vision footage, but for whatever reason, when I'm trying to convert it from AVI to MP4, it just doesn't. It captures the audio, but it's not taking the video with it. I don't know why. I'm gonna have to record some more footage, so you'll see some of this shooting later. But for now, I'm just gonna do the review because I've been wanting to talk about this for a while. So yeah, that's this URGI. I hope you have a great day. Thanks for watching.